So I am here today with Royce, DeZorzi, and Josh Van Way, musicians from Denver, Colorado. They're working on a main project right now, President Funk Band. Josh, why don't you start? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
A little bit about me. Well, I play a bunch of instruments. Really dig making music, but you guys probably know that already.
Where are you from?
I grew up in Dallas and moved here when I was like 16 or 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
What brought you out here?
My parents moved here. I just came with them.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, have you always been in like the music space?
Yeah. Yeah. Since I was like a little kid, I started playing keyboard when I was like 5.
Very cool.
And then after that, I did that for a while, and then I was just a kid and shit too. And then eventually I got more and more into music, and I learned guitar as well, and then kind of just started getting more into it from there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's cool. And you guys make good music, I know that for sure. I guess Royce will go on and ask you the same question. Where are you from?
I'm from Augusta, Georgia.
Sweet. Is that kind of what brought you to the funk world?
I didn't really. I started playing when I was 18, and I lived in Augusta from when I was about 15 to 18. And when I started taking some lessons, I was going to the local music store, and the guy who was teaching there, his name was Keith Jenkins, and he was working with James Brown in the 90s up until when James died, and he ran the James Brown Music Academy and stuff, so there's definitely like that presence in town, But I didn't, I learned like basic chords with him and stuff. What I really did pick up though was just the attitude of like taking it very seriously. It's just like, no, like, do this, do it better, You could tell that he was funky enough for James Brown.
Yeah.
And there were a couple guys around town who were, there were some older heads, like, you'd hear a few stories, I met another guitar player who's an old guy who said he was playing in this club and James Brown came in and he had like gotten the call to go with him. Just having that kind of stuff happen, it makes you think about it, but I never really learned to play while I was there.
Cool. So, what brought you to Denver then?
I was just coming to Colorado when I was like 18 because I was farming. I was working in like fast food restaurants in Augusta, and that really sucked. So I wanted to get a better job. I was working at the sandwich shop and at the Sonic, cooking all greasy. And then I came out here, started working on a hops farm in Paonia, and I just got into that kind of lifestyle for a while before I was like, oh man. I couldn't really play guitar like that. When you're just out in the country, like you don't really have much to do except work. Like you're always working, Can't really play like that. So I just wanted to get to somewhere where I could play. So I just came to Denver just for the music, I picked up a job at Guitar Center. They were like, we need piano teachers. And I was like, that's me. Like I didn't play guitar, I didn't play piano, I just like bullshit my way into it, and then I got,
Bullshit.
After a while, so.
Yeah, that's. I didn't realize that was the past tense of bullshit. Now we know.
I guess to both of you, whoever wants to go first, how has your life changed since all this coronavirus?
Just building guitars mainly and gigs. Those are the two main things that, I guess that's how I was spending all my time before this. So both of those things have been put completely on hold for the past couple months, basically. So aside from that, though, we've just been making tons of recordings, which is also kind of normal, but we haven't been able to dedicate quite as much time to that because we're busy doing other shit.
Yeah.
So to actually be able to like nail down all the time, or to just have all the time to put in the studio has been really cool, because it takes a lot of time. And you kind of lock yourself away in the studio dungeon anyway. So quarantine is the perfect time to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know that we were talking about it before this, but that time's given you didn't you just finish a single?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff I'm working on too. It's just that like I can't show you everything all at once.
I gotcha.
But yeah, I did the single because that was the only one that I could think of lyrics for the time being, you know. And the rest of the stuff just sounds incomplete. It's kind of like bullshit.
Yeah. It works.
Without the lyrics, you know, it just has the space for it.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff we're working on is the same way. It has the space for something, so we're waiting for whatever that thing may be, or whether it's vocals. You know, sometimes the lyrics come to you last.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's crazy how many projects are like partially done or almost done, you know.
So have you gotten the chance to finish some projects too, Royce?
Yeah, we're really just focusing on the stuff that we've been doing together. I mean, I've been writing some other stuff and working with some other people who, you know, doing some recordings together. You know, Josh has always been involved in them though. Like everything I'm doing right now involves Josh. And I've just been spending a lot of time during the quarantine as well on booking sync gigs and stuff. When I say gigs, you know, in the absence of booking gigs, like
you only know how to book gigs.
Yeah, because I was spending so much time, like during the day, just to make that my day job to book. Like we were playing at restaurants and bars all the time, so you know now that time is going more into booking or finding sync licensing stuff and starting to run that thing. You know, got the record label started and starting to use that as a vehicle to legitimize ourselves and build a portfolio of artists and have a vehicle for our different projects and the different, because you know, like Josh makes all these different kinds of music. We're always trying to do something, you know, and I would hate for that creativity to be stifled. Like for people who are sitting at home and can't play gigs and who are relying on gigs every day, it's just miserable to not have the thing that you know, you're not only your job but like your creative outlet and your way of connecting with people and like serving your art form and developing and pushing yourself and growing. So that energy has to go into like the recordings, meaning we need to have the outlet to place our music, you know, so that we're challenged to write good things and just to express ourselves through the medium of the recording, because that's the opportunity that we have. And for people, there are going to be jobs doing that. Like there's going to be lots of jobs for music placements and stuff in the video games and film and TV and all those media platforms, you know.
Right.
They need all sorts of kinds of music,
right.
Even not just like your songs, your creative music, but you're just like 30-second intro music for something, you know what I mean? Jingles and stuff like that. So, you know, to what we can do, it'll be so great when we can have a studio building, you know, and have, you know, just support the scene in as many ways as possible. Help, you know, if there's great people out there who, you know, they could book with us at the studio, or if we have projects that are useful that we like, you know, if we're involved with other stuff, like Josh is always doing engineering and playing all instruments and writing stuff, and I'm occupied with different things associated with what we're doing, so I could see like bringing on session musicians at some point in a year, a couple years, you know, when we have the facilities for that, or like even in the next few months, just thinking of somebody like, they're like, oh, we need somebody to play this, you know, hiring them to do it, you know, making sure that they get paid what they're worth and then some, you know, because a lot of musicians don't know how to find work now, and there's always been, even when it was just bar gigs, it's like there's so many people in town who are like, man, how do you get so many gigs, you know, like, you know, things are going to come back, events are going to come back, and we have to fight for that too, like, as people, everybody has to help fight for that, as it's safe, you know, and reasonable. And as we get the gigs going and stuff, I mean, we're going to come out of this coronavirus situation so much stronger than before, and I can't see us playing those same kind of little clubs all the time again, because it was like our main focus, but now there's so many more opportunities through recording that have been there, but some of them are going to go away, some of them are going to diminish, some of them are going to get bigger and better and stronger in the years to come, even if there is a recession or the economic depression, you know. So there's going to be opportunities for musicians to work, and I want to help. I know we all want to help be a force to keep that going for people, help people find work, you know, and help people find opportunities for themselves in the music and arts community, which is underserved.
All right, so Josh, do you have any advice for musicians going through this? You know, gigs are hard. We're spending a lot of time in the recording studio, but, you know, what's your advice?
You know, I'm not really usually a person to give people advice unless they ask for it.
I would offer what I'm doing with my time, and that is that I have just been trying to make tons of recordings, like I was saying, and put as much time as I can into playing my instruments and getting the feel right on everything, and just whatever you're focused on musically right now. You have all that time and energy to put into that right now instead of whatever you have to stay away from at the time in order to keep everybody safe. Like everybody's just, like I said, I haven't been building guitars or playing gigs, so I don't have these 4-hour gigs that we usually have where I can just sit there and hone my bass playing skills. So I have to put that somewhere else.
Right.
Just don't stop doing what you're doing, I guess is my advice, but maybe not that's as far as I go with it.
Yeah. Fair enough. That's good. Royce, do you have any advice?
My advice to anybody, since you're asking, is find out what you're trying to do and find a clear way to make it happen for yourself and anybody that you're going to work with. Say, what do I have to offer to them, and how can I make it easy for them to work with me and make them want to work with me? Because that's a mistake that I've made over and over again, is just like trying to ham fist my way into somebody's getting them to work with me, and it just never was right, and I never realized that for the longest time. And now that we've been focusing on the studio stuff, I think more about recorded music and the value of that, and how high quality recordings are pieces of art, and especially in this world where live music is restricted right now, that's a good thing to focus on, I think. So there's a lot of things people can do, and if you just take care of your own business and do your own thing, you get there.
Yeah.
But for me, I just have kind of monopolized on kicking my own ass into doing things that I don't know how to do, just based on wherever I'm trying to get. For me, I decided a long time ago, for instance, that I would much rather play like bluegrass upright bass, even though that's not really my thing, than work at like a gas station or something. So starting to book gigs was like the thing that saved my ass, because nobody would hire me for anything. And why would they? I couldn't really play. So I started having to book myself and learn how to do that, and just taking care of my own money that way was like such a motivator. You could never do anything on your own in this world anyways, so it involves getting the right people into everything that I'm trying to do and that we're trying to do together, Because we all, the three of us, we all have totally different specialties in what we do, like musically and our business endeavors, and all those. So the fact that we bring so much different things to the table and all take care of our own business makes us a powerful force together when we work together in a business, or run a business together,
Throughout your story, I feel like you've got a lot of like self-discipline, and that's something that many people don't have, and especially in like the music entertainment industry, self-discipline is so necessary, because you're not just selling services, you're selling yourself, like, more than anything. So good on you, dude. That sounds like you're going
back
good
at
places.
you, man. You've motivated me a lot on this since we've been doing different kinds of work together. Both of you guys have motivated the hell out of me.
Well, that's what it's all about, dude. Cheers. Buddies.
For beers.
Cheers for beers. Where do you guys find inspiration?
Everywhere, man. I think honestly, it's a vague answer, but it's very true. It's like anywhere that I hear sounds, I guess, or feel feelings, which is all of life. Like what else do you have other than feelings? But it's like that's all you can put into your music. So like any kind of sounds from the shit that you hear out for a walk from other people's music, or like something you hear when you're playing a video game lately because of this quarantine situation. I've been like, oh, I want to put a walkie-talkie songs in this, or walkie-talkie sounds in this song, because that's something they would do in a video game. So that's where inspiration can come from, But just whatever you're surrounded by, I don't think there's any way to pick and choose necessarily, So your taste sort of guides what you surround yourself by, but you can divert from that anytime you want, and whatever you surround yourself with will become an influence.
I like that.
Yeah, it's true, man. You can find inspiration everywhere. I guess the thing that comes to mind for me is that Masta Killa from the Wu-Tang Clan, he had a quote in one of their biographies or something that I read where he said, I listen to everything, today I might just listen to the wind. I listen to Taylor Swift and all that shit. I was like, word up,
That's
you
a very
know? We talk about how to like be honest in our music and like give people something that they're gonna care about, you know, which we decided a long time ago had to do with singing and lyrics, you know, like people connect with that stuff in a way deeper than instrumental music, you know, so you should at least throw it in there sometimes. But that's what I like about the Wu-Tang Clan, man, is they had style, you know. They still do have style. You look at like Method Man and the RZA and the GZA, those guys are so cool, man. They're like, and they're so for real about what they do, you know. It's like I could never be anything like them, you know. If I did, I would just be putting it on super hard, you know. But those guys are so for real. You look at Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix, James Brown, like a lot of different cats, like Prince, you know, Miles Davis. Like you wonder where a lot of those Wu-Tang guys got their influence, because man, they just had so much going on with their style. They were freaking for real. Like they were a product of where they came from, and that resonates with people. Which I see very few people, if any, like that who really strike me as really saying something that I feel like I need to hear. And that's what I'm on a quest, and I know you're on a quest, and everybody is in some way on a quest to find that through the music and speak it, you know. But I guess it's only a reflection of how in tune you are with yourself, you know, and the world around you, and the community around you has so much to do with yourself, because you can never do anything alone, you know. There's like so much going on, like, because I mean, I don't know, we've talked about it, like the music is, Victor Wooten's talked about it, Miles Davis has talked about it, Jimi Hendrix and Bob Marley have talked about it. The music is like in the air, you know what I mean? It's like, it's something outside of you that, and so many people know this, that you just like tap into it, you know, and it's going on. And it's like, man, none of the shit could be played any other time in the whole universe, you know? Like, we occupy this unique point in time where we play the music that's like a product of the times, you know?
That music is not this thing that you have to do. It's this thing that you like tune into, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess like anything in life, although I'm not trying to get all woo-woo and say my mind's an antenna or anything, but like, you don't have to make these constant conscious decisions every second of the way either. Like, there's music out there, and if you mesh that with whatever you're feeling at the time, it'll guide you between what it's trying to say and what you're trying to say. It's like this sort of weird combination of the two, you know?
Alright, we want to thank Josh and Royce for coming out today, you know. Follow the description below, like, subscribe, follow President on all of their channels. They're coming out in a big way after all of this goes down. Tune in next time. We're going to have Greg from Growler USA come in. You know, thank you guys again for coming out. Josh, Royce, been a pleasure.
So,
Thanks,
been
Thomas.
a pleasure. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
bye YouTube.
Farewell,
We can just chill again.
Hasta la YouTube. Man, honestly, the only thing that I ever want to like get across to our audience is that shit is funky and we're not fucking with you. Like, this shit is real, you know?
Yeah, it's from the heart.
Yeah, so
it's good ass music.
Yeah, nobody wants to see either of us in sleeveless shirts.
Maybe.
No, you should come.
No.
We want to support the music.
Royce
This
didn't
is
even.
gone. This
Royce
can't-
didn't even show up, man.
You just crop it like right here.
You can see like a shoulder. Can't wait to go back and edit this. I'm gonna have a ball.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.